As another season of football at the Grove comes to a close, the club holds its usual end-of-season presentation dinner dance.
Starting up tonight in fine style, ZZ Tops were there and Viva.
For the 1991-92 season, the awards for the Player of the Year and the Supporters Club Player of the Year were won by centre-half Eric Smith. From a player's point of view, the most prestigious award is the Players' Player of the Year, voted by fellow teammates. Following a highly consistent season, Eric Smith completed a clean sweep by also taking this award.
Thank you, Eric Smith. Thank you. And Johnny Wallace. Thank you.
The playing season may have ended, but the hard work at the Grove continues throughout the summer months. The first main project is always the pitch. We asked groundsman Phil Lloyd what was the difference between the present playing surface and the sloping pitch of the early 1980s.
Yes, I think the answer everybody at the club would give you to that is the old pitch used to drain very well. Unfortunately, the new one doesn't. Whereas the old pitch was a funny shape, it was always a good surface, and it would drain within a couple of hours. The new one we have had a lot of problems with, but hopefully it's getting better every season.
What is involved with the day-to-day running of the present pitch?
The day-to-day running of the pitch is mainly done by Bate, who I'd like to thank. I wouldn't be able to cope without him. Barry spikes it, rolls it, mows it, and I do more of it on the weekend, marking out, fertilising.
What work is carried out during the close season?
Previous close seasons there's been a lot of work carried out. Major drainage works. Last season we've put a crown on the middle of the pitch, and hopefully this season it will be a matter of just overseeding and fertilising and top dressing.
What is the general running costs of maintaining the pitch?
The budget that Mr Slater gives me, which isn't enough, is roughly about £2,000 a year. This season coming, I would hope to spend about £4,000. The top dressing that I would like to put on is very expensive, but to get a good surface and some good grass growing, I think it's necessary.
We now join Phil Lloyd out on the pitch as work is in progress.
Can you tell us, Phil, what work is in progress at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, that's the vertidrain machine, which puts thousands of holes in the pitch, approximately 9 inches deep. It takes out all the compaction out of the ground, hopefully to give us a better drainage. The other operation is that's a drill seeder, and we go over the pitch at 4 or 5 different angles, and that drops the seed in drills, so we get nicely knitted together. All the soiling's been done. We've filled the low spots up where the water was holding, So we just want a bit of rain now and we're away.
As well as work on the pitch, a regular band of supporters and club officials assemble on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays throughout the summer months to assist in improving the ground facilities. Here we see the Stourbridge Road end cleared and ready for concrete terracing.
What ways do you look to bring finance into the club?
Various ways, obviously. We are now as professional as we can be, and we're always trying to strive to improve on that. And obviously the club has grown to such a size that we need finance of greater proportions than we've ever done before to run that. And there are various ways and means we look to bring this in. Obviously the main starting point is a main sponsor, and if we can secure one each year, obviously we can keep the one. If we prove that successful and we can re-employ him, or he wants to stop with us the next year, then fine. So obviously the main sponsor is a big starting point for any football club's activities, particularly at our level. So we get that sorted out. And then there's such things as board advertising around the grounds. We pride ourselves on the standard of our boards and the quality of our boards, and we've got some in the region at the moment of 100, 105. We're always looking to improve on that. There's a bit more space, so if you know of anybody that's interested, let us know. Match sponsorship and match ball sponsorship, we'd look to bring in money from that area. We have two big fundraising events that go on all the year round, namely our Superloot and Tote. Superloot's a new venture that we started 12 months ago. Tote's been with us for a long while, and we are in the process at this actual moment in time of revamping the Tote, changing it and trying to get it a bit up market and trying to build up on that as well. The Superloot, as I say, we started it 12 months ago. It's a weekly draw. It's proved very successful. And again, we're looking to build on that. We sell a golden goal on match days, where it's a prize for the first goal scored. We used to do raffles, we've done them over the years. But we found that we needed something new. Golden goals provide interest in the match as well, because it's allied to the football. Any other areas we have, such as personal sponsorship of players, we try and bring money in on that side. Actually, she's got me stumped for a minute, but there's lots of ways and means that we look to bring money in the club all the time. Hiring out of the boardroom, hiring out of the sponsors lounge, because our facilities we feel are very good, and if we can bring money in the week. Football now is not a sort of 3 o'clock till 20 to 5 or 7:30 till 9:10 game. Football now is 5 to 7 days a week, and we've got to try and make the club profitable for the other days other than the football itself. Obviously with the gates that we get and the people through the gates, that helps to bring in income as well. But obviously we've got to try and bring it in from other sources to help supplement that. But we do have various means, and we're always looking at new ideas of bringing in income on the commercial side, because obviously we need that to improve the ground, to make it better for spectators, and to try and attain a level that we want to, and obviously to give our manager the facilities to compete with other clubs in terms of trying to sign better quality players. And I don't mean that in a derogatory manner, but obviously you've always got to look to improve if you can do on your playing staff.
In May 1992, it was announced that Halesowen Town Football Club would become a limited company with its own board of directors formed from the old committee. We asked Chairman Ron Mosley on the aims and means of this move.
And the aims of going limited. Basically, we believe that Halesowen Town needs to move on. We've come from the Bankers League, West Midland League. We've now got into the Prem of the Southern League. We now need to move into the next era, which is conference, obviously. Most conference clubs are board run. We believe that that is the next rung in our ladder. We need to become more professional. We need to run ourselves as a company. We can no longer look at things without looking at them as on basic economics. So many clubs are run badly, we believe. We only need to look in the area for the problems. I won't mention any names, but clubs that are having because of financial reasons. We believe it's unfair that the current members and current committee should carry the burden of what has now become a small company but quite a large company in terms of turnover. So we shall be on the 1st of June 1992 forming the limited company of Halesowen Town. That makes it a lot better. Okay, there's still responsibilities. Directors have responsibilities, so there's no get out. There's no hidden facts. People are asking the question, why should Halesowen Town suddenly go limited? It's purely to become more professional, and that is as simple as that. It limits our liability, and we can now move forward, looking forward to conference football.
There may not be any football to watch during the summer at Halesowen, but the social club still thrives throughout the summer, 7 days a week.
Social club, and how did you become involved?
I'm in charge of looking after the beer, selling the beer, doing all the orders, making sure that everybody's happy. And I started as a member, as the steward, when I finished as a teacher, taking early retirement. And I was asked if I'd like to try the job for the trial period of a month, and I've been in since then, which is 18 months now.
What does the social club have to offer to its members?
Well, good beer, hopefully, good drinks, a nice atmosphere where they can bring the children in safely. We run a domino house league. We have a pool table, we have a dart board in the games room. We have on Saturday nights generally entertainers to put on entertainment for all the members who would like to come in, and they can win money by joining either the Super Loot or the alphanumeric tote.
Here's a short excerpt of an evening's entertainment in the social club with local comedian Tommy Munden.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at the time we've all been waiting for with bated breath. No need to tell you what the occasion is. Now, Ron come to visit me about a couple of months ago. And he said, now, Thomas, I'd like you to arrange a little bit of entertainment for my 50th birthday. And I said, now look, Ron, I hate to be mercenary. I said, but I said, what sort of money can I spend? And he said, well, I want you to imagine that you're sort of going out and you're going to buy 2 players good enough to play for the Halesowen first team. But not to worry, I've managed to scrape a little bit of entertainment off it. Now, I'll tell you, now just to give you a little idea of what we're going to expect tonight, now I've managed to get a sort of a one-legged tap dancer. He'll be dancing knee up Mother Brown. Not for long, mind you, but... right, now we shall be playing a sort of a video during the course of the night, Tales of the Unexpected, and that's all about the forthcoming marriage of Rudge and Glennis. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Glennis the other day, and I says, actually, I said, Thomas, I just slapped Roger's face the other night. And I was what to stop him is now to get him going. Right now, we've catered for the girls tonight because girls, I've managed to get an ex-Chippendale. And I've just seen him changing, and I can tell you now why he's an ex-Chippendale. Because believe me, it's just like a chipolata. But nevertheless, he'll be coming on in the nude girls, and he'll be doing the splits over the candle and yodel. And as an encore, he'll sing Great Balls of Fire. For the men, we've catered for the men now. For the boys, I've booked a lady mind reader. Now, boys, she's absolutely wonderful. Wonderful figure and a damn good mind reader. I mean, I only looked at her hit me in the mouth. And I've also booked Miss Royal Mint. Now, she walks on and is just dressed in 3 coins. Now, I booked it in because it was down to her last penny, so I thought I'd Right, now, as you know, without me sort of telling you by now, that I've took my early retirement from the council. And let me tell you straight away that I did 25 years and I never had a day's illness. Now I always made it last a fortnight. But I think that the straw, folk, that broke the camel's back, I think, was when my daughter come back from school one day and says, Daddy says, I've been listening to 2 little lads at school, says, and they've been bragging about how fast their fathers was. And I says, this one little chap says, my dad's that fast. I says, he'll fire an arrow from a bow and he'll catch the arrow in his mouth before it hits the target. And this other little chap's, well, I tell you nothing, how chap does that with a rifle. Catch the bullet in it. Well, of course, Caroline was taking all this. He says, well, I can beat that on both counts. As my father works for Dudley Council, he don't finish work till 4:30, he's back home at 3 o'clock. Just before I get the first act on, folks, because we've got a lot to get through, but just before we, I'd like to sort of tell you sort of an Harry Rudge classic. And this old chap went to Harry Rudge one day and he says, Harry, he says, now, you know, I've supported Halesowen now for 50 years. He says, but I've got a feeling in my weight, and he said that I don't think I've got many more matches left. He says, so when I go and meet that big referee up in the sky, he says, I'd like to think that my ashes went scattered all over Halesowen football ground. And Harry says, now look here, chap, he says, you know very well we don't allow spectators on the pitch. He says that. He said, but I've got a better idea. He said, why don't you get yourself mortified? And Sam says, bloody great. So he went to the taxi and got stuffed, like, you know. And of course he was able then I was able to put him in his usual seat, under the usual stand, on the Saturday afternoon, and Halesowen come out, played up to the usual standard, and at half time Sam got up and went up like he always did.
Inevitably, there are more personalities and faces involved in Halesowen Town than we could ever fit into one video.
Oh, about 9 or 10
Let's join
years.
some more familiar supporters and helpers of the club during an evening match.
Wide! Floaty Derek.
How long have you been supporting the club?
Oh, about 9 or 10 years. Oh, God, I'm on... And I always will do, whatever the state the game is today, I'll still support Halesowen Town Football Club.
What does your job involve here at the football club?
During the weeks I clean the dressing rooms and everything else, and then sponsors lounge and all the rest, and then during match days I sell the programmes.
Could you tell us how you became involved with Halesowen Town?
First of all, I introduced Timmy Clark, who wanted to play Southern League football, to Halesowen Town. Then Jan Lloyd spoke to Karen about taking over the catering, this end of the ground. And that's how I got involved. It was as easy as that, really.
And what preparation goes in for a match like tonight's game?
Well, you've got to try and assess the opposition and the size of the crowd, so that you don't have too much wastage, you know. That's the hard part, is getting it right. And the sponsors, looking after the sponsors. We have to supply them with a hot meal, which over the last 2 years everybody's been very satisfied with. So let's hope we can continue to keep it like that. The teas for the players and the officials, the referee and the linesman, before the game, half time, and at the end of the game. So it does entail a lot of work, because by the time you've cleared up from the one lot, it's ready to make the tea again.
As a long-term supporter, could you outline your time here at the club?
Well, the first match I came to see Halesowen play was against Halesowen Town in the FA Cup, 1955. Unfortunately, they lost 4-2. But it was a good game and there was a good crowd. And it was really a good match. And then I started to come regular after, up till I got married and had my son. Till I had my son. And then of course I stayed at home, but when he was old enough I started to come again. And I've seen the good times and I've seen the bad times. I'm not agreed with everything what's gone on, but 95% of the time I am. The most. We've been to Wembley 3 times. I didn't go the first time, but I went the second time and the third time. But the most memorable match I can remember was when we played in the Southern League the first time, and we were 3-1 down at half time against Merthyr Tydfil, at Merthyr Tydfil. But at the end of the 90 minutes, we'd won 5-3, and that was a match I shall always remember. We had a good time at Wembley. We enjoyed ourselves, we enjoyed the match, but I think that was the most memorable match, was when we beat Merthyr Tydfil 5-3. We went down there as the underdogs, we came out as top dogs.
after time. Time after time. Time
Useful for your early playing days here at the Grove.
He's making
time after time.
Playing days here at the Grove.
After time. Time after time.
Well, we play like Liverpool.
Time after time. Time after time. Time after time.
Use of your early playing days here at the Grove. It's Halesowen Town.
My favourite day at Halesowen is being mascot for the club, where I meet all the players what I like who play for Halesowen, and I liked it when I was mascot against Dover, because we won 2-0 and they was top, and Kevin Harrison scored from 5 yards and Richard Massey scored from 25 yards.
What do you like most about the club?
I like the people who are involved in it, and I like the ones what help me when I'm mascot.
You've been club mascot on 4 occasions. Can you tell us the results of the 4 games? You've been club mascot on 4 occasions. Can you tell us the results of the 4 games?
My first time I was mascot was against Paul and we won 2-1. The second time I was mascot against Corby and we won 4-0, and the third time was against Dover and we won 2-0, and the last time we won 3-2 against Bashley.
Yes.
Well, now you've seen exactly what goes into making 90 minutes of football. I'd like to take this opportunity, on behalf of Halesowen Town FC, to thank Paul Bate of PB Video Services for making it all possible. And also to thank all those people who have given up precious time to... Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, now you've seen exactly what goes into making 90 minutes of football. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has given up time to be part of this production, and on behalf of Halesowen Town, to thank Paul Bate of PB Video Services, without whom this video would not have taken place. Well, I'm sure over the last 3 hours you've seen memories of the past. Oh, shit.
Someone
You must be the longest serving committee member.
That's right. I first joined the committee 25 years ago in 1967, and I've been a supporter for quite a good few years before then. Wait, stop.
Could you explain the differences between the old growth slope of early 80s and the present playing surface?
Yeah, I think the answer everybody at the club would give you to that would be the old one drained, the new one doesn't. It's been a hell of a problem. The old pitch. Go on.
How did you become involved with the club? How did you become involved with the club, and what are your duties?
Well, I've been.
Can I start again? You don't want me, you can cut this out, it's all right.
Or hospital. The second area is a trip. I cut it off again anyway.
There I go. Out of the 8 goals you've scored, could you tell us your most favourite?
Well, as you say, they're all quality goals, Richard, as you well know. But I suppose the most memorable ones are when I was just coming back from injury and John put me back into midfield against Dudley Town, and I scored 2 goals there. I suppose that would be the one memory of my goal scoring prowess.
Since signing for Forest,
What is the position you hold at the moment?
The position at the moment, I'm actually a director of the club. I was asked back in January of this year whether I'd like to join the board, and it was a great privilege for me to be asked, and I obviously took it up. And I also obviously do the 7-day hotline, the Yelts line, which is just something else I do.
Sounded all right. You started to ramble on that second one again.
Scoring against Man United reserves must have been a privilege, but what was it like to score on your first team debut?
Superb, really. We're on to that.
Well, now you've seen exactly how much work goes into making 90 minutes of football. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has given up time to be part of this video, and on behalf of Halesowen Town FC, to thank Paul Bate of PB Video Services, who has given up so much time throughout the last 3 months to make this video possible. When you are putting so much information on one video, it is inevitable that someone may have been overlooked. If this is necessary, I give you my apologies. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as we did putting it together. All treasure memories which will be remembered for many years to come, those of Harry's golden years. Is that alright? I think I did a funny word halfway. Well, now you've seen exactly how much work goes into making 90 minutes of football. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has given up time to be part of this video, and on behalf of Halesowen Town FC, to thank Paul Bate of PB Video Services, who has given up so much of time throughout the last 3 months. When you are putting so much information on one video, it is inevitable that someone may have been overlooked. If there is anybody, I give you my apologies. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as we have putting it together. All treasure memories which will be remembered for many years to come. Well, now you've seen exactly how much work goes into making 90 minutes of football. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has given up time to be part of this video, and on behalf of Halesowen Town FC to thank Paul Bate of PB Video Services, who has given up so much of his time throughout the 3 months that this video has been produced. When you are putting so much information on one video, it is inevitable that someone may have been overlooked. If there is anybody, I give you my apologies. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as we have putting it together. All treasured memories which will be remembered for many years to come, those of Harry's golden years. Well, now you've seen the finished article, join in some of the fun we had while making it, with things that shouldn't have happened, but did.
Alright! Alright! And this is Stuart Orr pretending he's Donnell. What he does best, and that's talk. And as you can see, the players are very interested in the game, all wondering what the committee are doing, reseeding the pitch and getting the moles down for next season. And as you can see, they've been working out for the last 5 minutes. It's the hardest they've worked all season. Big roar goes up there as Halesowen have just scored in the kick-in. First goal in 3 games. Very good atmosphere here tonight. Without any moaners or groaners. Probably a good crowd of over 3. There's Kevin Bissell. Kevin Bissell just going towards the stand to tell everybody what he's been doing. Absolute haul. And this is me saying good night from him, good night from you. Thank you.